has been crying out for hope, for a hero to save us. We long for the supernatural.
But there is only one God who can save the day. So clear the stage, prepare the way, 'cause heaven and earth are singing. Glory, hallelujah. Let the whole world see the greatness of our God. In awesome wonder, He reigns forever. We know the greatness of our God. His power is endless. He lives within us. We know the greatness of our God. The greatness of our God.
There's no one above Him. Only our Savior wears the crown. There's none who can stop Him. Not even the grave could hold Him down.
There is only one King who can save the day. So clear the stage, prepare the way, 'cause heaven and earth are singing. Glory, hallelujah. Let the whole world see the greatness of our God. In awesome wonder, He reigns forever. We know the greatness of our God. His power is endless. He lives within us. We know the greatness of our God. 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 The greatness of our
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Zoom call with the Newsboys tonight. A little Q&A about the video Love One Another. My name's Adam Agee, and I'm going to help host and see if we can get to as many of your questions as possible tonight and talk a little bit about the video. Let's say hey to all the guys. We got Peter Furler. How you doing, Pete? Where are you coming from?
Good, Adam. I'm down in the Sunshine State, Quarantine, Florida.
Yeah, beauty, nice. We got Jeff Frankenstein. Where are you coming from, Jeff?
Hey, I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Beautiful.
In the world.
Sounds like somebody's getting a call. That's awesome. It might be Phil Joel. Actually, he's playing a video
it's
game.
not.
Phil, what are you doing?
It's actually Gallagher. It's like Pocket Gallagher. It's awesome. Yeah, you see that?
That's awesome. That's
He was
great.
thinking he was gonna get bored during this, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
I just
exactly.
it's my backup plan. Sorry, I should turn that off.
Hey, Jody Davis, guitar player for the Newsboys. Where are you at?
Way out in the boonies of Tennessee, hiding in my back bedroom so that my kids don't disturb all of us. Well, anyway,
Amazing.
that's okay.
Duncan Phillips, drummer extraordinaire. What's up, man? How you doing?
Adam, how are you, my friend? Doing great, man. You know what? The funniest thing in the world is I am also in the Sunshine State, and been there for a little bit. Actually, I'm just down the road from Pete. Believe it or not, I'm just down the road from Pete. How crazy is that?
Nice. Well, stay 6 feet away from each other when you hang out.
Oh, yeah, of course, at all times. Yeah.
And we've got Michael Tate in the house. Where you at, Michael?
Greetings, calling from my little chateau in the hills of Brentwood.
Beauty. You doing good, Mike? You doing good?
Suffering for the Lord through this Corona COVID disaster.
And a very special guest is joining us as well. He directed the video that you're going to see here in just a few minutes. He's a genius, videographer extraordinaire, amazing photographer. He's had a lot of history in the industry. Max Hsu, how you doing, Max?
What's up, guys? Here in
Max.
Franklin, Tennessee.
Max.
Love the motorcycle, Pete.
Thanks, Max. Yours anytime you want to come and borrow it.
Oh, all right. Awesome.
Again, guys, please just submit your questions. Ask whatever questions you get, and we're going to get to those in a little bit. But first, I want to know a little bit more about the video that we're going to see. Jeff, I remember we were sitting in a Starbucks in Ames, Iowa, and you're like, "Man, I got this crazy idea for a video." How did it come from this idea in your head to working with Max to what we're about to see?
Yeah, it all starts with an idea. Those are the fun part. Yeah, like we were talking in the coffee shop, we were like, man, it'd be cool to do a video, which led me to call Max, which led us to get together quite a few times over a couple months and just try to figure out what in the world we would do. Probably went through like, I don't know, Max, how many? 20 different ideas back and forth, like hours on the phone. And
49 by my count.
49. Okay, there we go. And then one night, Max called me up with what ended up being the idea for the video. And then after that, it was just a mad scramble, and to just get it finished before coronavirus hit. So we did it. But it is just so when you see the video, this was before the days of social distancing. So we weren't putting anybody's life on the line. It looks pretty disturbing now when you see it.
You guys get up close and personal.
Yeah.
Well, Max, I want to get your thoughts right after the video, if that's all right. Maybe we can check out the video with everybody, and then we want to get some more reactions and kind of what you were thinking when we were doing this and that, and get some more questions after this video. But here it is, the video. Newsboys, love one another.
You're so good, Adam. You're so good. You're a freaking pro, dude.
Hello, young man. May I help you?
Good morning, ma'am. We're just in your neighborhood doing some market research. Would you be willing to listen to a 3-minute song? We aren't selling anything. We just want your honest opinion. It would really help us out.
Well, I guess that would be okay. You know, we do have a record player, if that would help.
No problem at all, ma'am. I've got a Yes and 14 West Main full load out, please.
Yeah, we don't always live what we believe. Yeah, we don't always share a common source. Here we are now, shouting till we're hoarse. Jesus taught us a different kind of discourse. Don't talk about it, just do it. Love one another, sister and brother. Don't hurt each other, yeah. Lines drawn in the sand, complicate our new command. Love one another, yeah. Yeah, we don't always live what we believe. Yeah, we don't like the shouting of demands. Yeah, we forget the world is in his hands. But there's one thing the whole world understands. Don't talk about it, just do it. Love one another, sister and brother. Don't hurt each other, yeah. Lines drawn in the sand, complicate our new command. Love one another, yeah. Love loves a troubled face. Love loves a hopeless case. Love loves to break the ice. Love loves an enterprise.
Oh, that was fantastic. Wasn't that great?
No, I wish I'd put in my hearing aids.
Wow.
It's so good. I love it. Man, Max, there's a lot going on in this video, and it took you guys days and days to film everything, multiple locations. Can you walk us through from the concept to getting everybody to cooperate and shoot that many takes and edit it down, all the whole process? It's a very stoic face, Max.
Yeah.
It looks good.
He's thinking about it.
Did you hear me, Max? Did you hear what I was saying there?
Like the Flash.
In a nutshell, Matt. In a nutshell.
I just caught it. My signal's been going in and out here. I don't know if you guys are having that problem. Man, it's such a great message of the song that is, it's, when I look at the comment section of the video, and boy, there's at least one comment in there about how the band are devil worshippers, and
I'm sure I'm to blame for that one.
Yeah. You can tell by the love one another theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's ironic, isn't it?
Oh man.
The song, there's so much delay here. Anyways, but just having talked to Jeff for so long, and I'm not entirely sure whose idea it was after we had talked through so many ideas, but I just kept having this visual in my head of how to cross lines, and the Newsboys like playing to everyone and anyone, and just trying to bridge the distance, to close the social distance, you might say. And then I just had to think of like a reason to put them in there, and it was after a shower that I called Jeff in a towel, and I was like, I think I've got it. So, but I wasn't sure if it would work because it required a group of people to totally make fun of themselves, to commit to the concept for it to work at all. And Jeff was like, oh, you have no idea. It'll work.
Oh man, I remember. Yeah, you guys. Jeff was texting everybody frantically, trying to get people to all these different locations all over Nashville, and we filmed. We were even at Tate's house there for one of the scenes. It was
Good
awesome.
Lord, that was a mess, dude. My house will never be the same. Thanks,
Right?
Newsboys.
Yeah.
And there was a little special guest in the video too. What about that, Pete? Whose decision was that to bring in Sir Kevin Max?
Well, when we were actually recording the song, we had just a couple hours of downtime. We were waiting on somebody to show up and sing.
Who could that be?
I don't know who that was. It wasn't the white guy.
Was he African American?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll leave it at that. But so we had some time, and so I was just sitting on the couch in the studio, and Kevin Max has been a friend of the band's for many, many years, and obviously with him and Michael being in DC Talk, and we've known each other a long time, and it was seriously on a whim. I just called him. I mean, we keep in touch a lot, and we're best buddies, and I love the guy, and he's an amazing singer, one of the best on the planet. And
Yes.
so I was just thinking about him, and I just called him up and I said, hey man, what are you doing? He goes, nothing, I'm just sitting at home. And his home was about 6 miles from the studio. I said, can you want to come down and sing something? And he hadn't heard the song, didn't know anything about it, and he just shows up, and he had this term, it's called a wild track, where he says, just give me a wild track. And so you just arm the track, you just fire it, put it in record, and let him do his thing. And so he burned through the song 2 or 3 times and sounded amazing like he always does. And then there was just that one section we were like, hey man, just come up with something there. And he just busted that craziest lick, which is probably, there's only
So classic.
I don't think there's anybody on the planet that can do that. I have not heard anybody do it. And
So Pete, you know what this all means, Pete, is that you couldn't have the best, you had to get the second best.
I'll leave that between you and Kevin.
Oh man.
Of course.
Oh,
A
now we're
never-ending rivalry, yes.
Yeah, now
That's
we're getting
true.
the good
That's
stuff.
true.
Okay. Well, we promised to get to as many questions during this Q&A as we can, and if you've got questions for any of the guys, or if you got questions for Max or whatever about life on the road or specifically this music video, go ahead and keep sending them on in. We've already got a bunch here. I'm going to check in on some of these questions. First question here for anybody who wants to answer: what was your favorite thing about making the Love of One Another video?
Okay.
I think it was getting to hang out with everybody, right?
Yeah, it was. In fact, it was. We were talking about this after we kind of finished. We didn't really intend it to be this way, but I think almost everybody's families were in the video, and some in the, especially at Michael's house, at the party scene there, like all of our kids, ranging from like feel like 19 all the way down to like 2. We're all there together, and that was pretty special because we don't ever work together or ever perform together, would ever get to do something like that. And hanging with each other, I mean, we took the whole process took 4 days, and they were very long days. So everybody had a really good attitude because we started early and ended late, and a lot of the days we were in freezing cold or crammed in some grandma's house with like cameras and
you know what, and I'll add this, looking back now, 2020 being hindsight, I would say that basically we've kind of been catapulted to the age of social distancing now. So to watch that video and see how close we are to people and loving on them, it reminds you of a time not so distant.
Yeah. The good old days.
The good old days, The good old days.
Really, my favorite day was definitely the little girl's birthday party scene.
Oh yes.
I mean, we were really thinking, okay, you get a bunch of little kids together, it's going to be a madhouse. It's like, how are we going to control these kids? It's going to be nuts. They were the most professional actors we had.
True.
They were pro.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe they took direction so well. Nobody acted up. They behaved really well. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. And it was the funniest day. We were laughing at those kids all day.
And Phil Joe's beautiful wife, Heather, rounded those girls up quite well. Good old Heather. So we give her kudos.
She kind of wrangled them. And all the kids were coming up going, now, do I do it like this or do I do it like that? They were like pros. Every one of them.
Like, what's my motivation?
What's my motivation here? How do you? That's cool.
That's awesome. All right, Phil, since you're on the screen, I got a question directly for you. Speaking of the good old days, where do you get your bell-bottom jeans?
I make them. I don't make them.
Hey Phil, where were we at that one day we actually found some in the store and bought them? You remember what town that was?
Yeah, no, that was some weird store in like Alabama. I'm kind of always on the lookout. It was a weird little town. I can't remember what it was called.
In Alabama.
But you just kind of keep an eye out for such garments.
All right. I got a great question about the music video from Dave on Facebook. Please tell us about the wonderful older couple in the first scene and throughout the video. They're awesome. Are they a part of the Newsboys extended friends and family?
Dave.
That wouldn't be Dave Clow, would it?
Yeah, well, it just says Dave.
Probably Dave Clow. I think they made the video.
That's Dave Clow's. That's Dave Clow's parents. Dave Clow was the guitarist for All Star United for quite a while.
Yeah,
great guitarist.
Yeah. He's done a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's written a lot of books, guitar books. Yeah. He's a great guy and great guitar player. And I hadn't seen him in a long time. It was great to hook up with him because he come and helped out that day. We were at his parents' house. His parents were characters. I mean, they were so much fun to hang out with.
Yeah, they were not actors. They were a real married couple. Had been married for 60 years, 50 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something crazy.
Something crazy.
That was really their house.
And it really was their house.
Yeah.
And like in between takes, Grandpa would take us down to the basement to show us his train sets and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a real deal.
That's
fantastic. They were awesome.
All right, let's get to a couple more questions here. We got one for Peter. How long did it take you to write the song "Love One Another"?
Gosh, I think I had that song about 4 or 5, 6 years ago, maybe just bits of it, and it just didn't sound that good. Didn't work out. Wasn't in the current stage that it is, and just kept working at it. And then I remember distinctly one day, still kind of feeling 50-50 about the song, and we were starting to work on the Newsboys United record, and I just played it to Michael. I said, "I have a listen to this, see what you think." And we'd always kind of everyone bounces ideas off each other, and he just gave it a listen, and he was kind of the champion behind it, to be honest. He was somebody who just loved the song, and he was like, "Man, we got to have this on the record." So so it's all Michael's fault, really.
I love it. So good, Pete.
Nice.
So good, bud.
All right, another question about the video. What was the most technically challenging part to film? What do you think, Max?
Oh boy. Most of it.
Every scene.
It wasn't like the normal videos that I shoot where we have it all planned down to the exact thing, and I have a drawing and we're following our storyboards and all that. We just kind of it was almost like shooting a documentary. So I think for me, there was a moment, like I didn't know if comedy is a terrifying thing to shoot, because if it's not funny, you have nothing. Like you literally, it's like you have no video. So it has to be funny, but you don't know if it's going to be funny. And then when we shot that scene in the grocery store, and there wasn't room to set the cameras where we wanted to set them, and there wasn't room to set up the band, and so I was just like, I have to improvise here, and so let's just have the band come around, this person who's shopping. And then the band came around and did what they did, and it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. It was total surprise to me. I lost it. We only had to do it like 2 or 3 times, and that's, I think, the second or first take is in there. It was so funny to me. But that's the thing with comedy and improvising. You just don't know if it's going to work, and so it was a huge challenge. But the band totally came through and made it. Oh my gosh. I almost built the video around that one shot in my head. I was like, this is the spirit of it. We need to shoot like this from here on.
Well, it's not every day you get to see Tate do the funky chicken. So
I was about to say what's really funny. What's really funny is we had a long day that day, and we were tired coming off the road. I remember when I came on the corner for the 1300 take in the first day. I remember thinking, okay, just be wacky, and the bird arms came up, and I knew I was in my total zone. And Jeff Frankenstein started laughing so hard, we lost it, man. It was just a moment. So Max is right. It's like that's just little things like that just authenticate that moment,
There were lots of funny things happen, though. There were so many funny things that didn't make the cut too. That are just like I remember being in the office. And there's a guy with a cowbell, and the guy dancing like Chris Farley. He was just going for it, and it was so fun. It was hard not to lose your mind because these people were just dancing like crazy and just being crazy. But there was a lot that happened that didn't end up in the video too. Which
one of my favorite things of the whole shoot, and a little bit of it gets put in the B-roll at the end. But Jeff Frankenstein's daughter, Gemma, made up a dance the night before for the song. And they filmed her doing it with a couple of the other girls. And it was just the cutest thing. It was so funny. And I'm pushing for them to edit a little chorus video of them doing that dance and having that available so people can learn the special dance that Gemma made, because it just cracks me up every time I see it.
My daughter needs no encouragement. She'll have a seven DVD set by the end of the week.
Oh, Gemma. Oh,
yeah.
All right, this question's for Duncan.
Yeah.
Duncan, do you miss playing drums on the road?
I would have to say 1,000% yes, I do. I love playing drums. I love playing live. I love touring. I love my band Newsboys. I love all my buds. And I was just talking to Steve today, guys, just so you know. And for me, it's all about the brotherhood that we have between each other. And I think that's one of the reasons why this video is so powerful, because we do have this incredible brotherhood. Not only the four of us in the band now, but with Peter and Phil, we have this incredible brotherhood. That, I mean, I met Pete when I was in when we were teenagers, so we had this incredible group of guys that love each other. And for me, one of the best parts of the night is being on the road after the show. We've all worked our hearts out. We've signed. We've met 1,000 people. We've shaken the hands, which we don't do anymore, apparently. But we've shaken all these people's hands. Just like, yes. But, you know, we've given our all. And then for me, it's the time that we get to spend together with Steve and all the crew guys, which we have the best crew in the world. All the band, we get to kind of celebrate that moment, celebrate that show, celebrate the Newsboys for that matter. So I really miss tour life, and I miss my buds.
Yeah, me too, Duncan.
I really do, Michael. I seriously, I really do. I miss everyone, miss Michael, and of course everyone in the band. But our crew guys are the best, man. They're so loyal to Newsboys. So, you know, that time we have after the show, Michael, as you know, we get together, Steve gets in all this bus food, and we eat lots of wonderful, beautiful food that he buys.
And play music.
Play music, and we just celebrate life. And I'm definitely missing that for sure.
All right. I got a question for Jody. These are always my favorite. Is that the normal beard, or is it a coronavirus beard?
It's kind of a coronavirus beard, really. I'm letting it go a little bit. Everything's kind of, you know, I've taken social distancing to a new level. I live pretty far out in the country, and really, my life is no different than it is any other time.
You were ahead of the curve, man. You were ahead of the curve.
The only thing I'm not doing is driving to civilization and getting on a tour bus once a week. That's the only thing I'm not doing. So yeah, it's all the same for me.
All right, I got a question. This fan knows. This is Heidi on Facebook. She knows you guys. She says, "How much riding are you getting in? As in not writing, but riding like a motorcycle." Some of you guys ride, so tell us if you're getting any in.
Goddamn battery.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit. A little bit. You see right behind. That's my favorite back there. It's 1989 BMW GS, and it's it's a good bike. I've ridden that bike down to Cabo, San Lucas, and back up to San Diego, and then across to here, Florida. So it's but it hasn't been ridden much lately, but hopefully soon. Yeah, I hope to soon. And so we all love riding bikes. We're all pretty avid, and but yeah, we're missing that a little more. But we haven't. At least that's good about. A good thing about that is you can social distance on a motorcycle.
That's a commitment with that bike there, Peter. Are you in your bedroom? That's right? You're in your bedroom, right?
Yeah.
You got James Dean.
It's true love. True love.
That's it. I put a little blanket over it at night.
Tuck it in. Tuck it in.
Tell a little story. Tell them a little
tell a little story about a little train. Good.
Every day I look at my motorcycle, and it's on its battery tender right now, and I think, oh, you know what? Here in a little while, I gotta drain the carbs. I gotta get it going. I got an older bike too, so not fuel injected, and then I get busy and I don't do it. And we've had all this great weather, and I've not ridden my bike yet this year, but it's gonna happen this week. It's gonna happen by the week.
Yeah,
me too.
Love that.
But just to the grocery store, right, Jody? Just to the grocery store.
Exactly. Only to essential places.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about Jody is his grocery store's about 300 miles away.
Yeah, I gotta pack a backpack, if I'm going to the grocery store. Food, a tent.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, I'm going to ask you this one. You guys just did a really cool acoustic version of your song "We Believe," and somebody asked the question, how did you make that?
Yes, it's top secret. I have been asked that question a ton in the last week. They're like, how did you synchronize everybody at the same time? And I'll let you in on the secret. It's not, a lot. You see a lot of these kinds of videos popping up from different artists now. But basically, what we did, since everyone's in different parts of the country or whatever, I sent everyone a click track so they could perform with their headphones on, listening to the basically the pulse of the music, right? While someone else recorded them. Then everybody sent all their videos to me, and I stripped all the audio from the videos and put it into a mixing program, like an audio program, where I could mix the song. And then I stuck it back onto the videos at the very end, where you see all of us separated. And so everyone's synchronized. I basically put everybody in sync, and I thought it turned out pretty good. And everyone played great, did a great job sending their stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I think it turned out really cool. Hopefully we'll do some more of them if you guys want us to over the coming weeks.
You never would have thought some years ago that you would have this little device that you could hold in your hand and record each individual person, playing guitar and singing and get the audio quality that you get. I mean, years ago, you would spend just $100,000 to do that. Now it's just, I'll just use my phone. It's no big deal.
The funniest part,
space program.
Yeah, the funniest part about the video, the We Believe video, was that we couldn't get Jody's internet to work good enough for him to send me the video. And so you'll notice he's like 8-bit, just like blocks. And we tried for 3 days to send the file and it wouldn't go through. So I'm like, we'll just use it. That's why he's so crusty in there.
All right. What do you do?
All right,
I got coal fire internet out here.
All right, I got a question.
I look like a Minecraft video.
Jody's got jokes tonight.
This is
good.
the way to do a Q&A. Jody's on fire.
Keep going, Jody. This is good stuff. Oh, man. All right, from Janelle on Facebook, and this one can go out to anybody. I especially want to know what Tate's going to do, but what's the first thing you guys will do when you get out of quarantine?
Yeah.
Hopefully play a gig.
Right.
Go see my friends and go into a nice crowded restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. I when the whole thing went down with coronavirus and everything, people would text me and call me, but nobody asked if I'm okay. They always say, "Well, is Michael okay?"
Wait.
They know you're such a social creature. Nobody asks if I'm okay. They're like, "Is Michael going to make it through social distancing?"
They know Jeff's a recluse.
Yeah, they know I'm fine.
Jeff's like, yes.
Where I live, it's not too hard to cope. I'm pretty good up here.
All right. We got a lot of people who are all of a sudden homeschool teachers.
Yes.
Do any of you have kids, and are you homeschooling?
Yes. I have 3 kids, and I'm a little upset because it's the private schools that make you do, or like the public schools, they're good. They're like, kids are out, kids are done, right? As of today. It's the private schools that make you homeschool. It's like, why am I paying all this money? It's the weirdest thing in the world. So you said, well, you go to private school, you want to bet whatever. And each kid is so different, as you know. But it's the private schools where we're having to sit down and go through everything with our kids, to where the public schools are like, it'll be fine. We'll just pick up where they left off. And so in Tennessee, I don't know what's like in your state, but in Tennessee, school is officially, as of today, public school is officially done. There is no more. They will not be going back to school. So, but then the private schools are like, yeah, we still want you to do this and do that. So my poor wife, she has done most of it, if not all of it. And she is just not built like that. You know, some people are. Some people are great teachers. Some people are just not. And but she's doing an awesome job. My wife is the best, and she's muscling through it. But I know that it's very hard and very frustrating on a person that's not necessary, because teaching is a gift. You either have it or you don't. And that's not really one of my wife's gifts. As brilliant as she is, that's not necessarily one of hers. So I know she is probably more than me. She's having a hard time with it.
Yeah. We got three of my girls, three girls that are in school. My oldest one's she's 19, so she's not. But we were homeschooling anyway, so because there's not a public school within 100 miles, so you know.
Oh, that's great.
Jody's life has changed zero again.
Not changed at all.
Good job. It's great.
So good. All right. Going back to the video here, and maybe a little something from everybody. What was your favorite scene in the video?
Oh man,
wow.
It's a apparently tough question.
Yeah.
I thought the what was the name of that place? The restaurant scene when the girls end up with the fire dancing and the fire eating, and
that was awesome.
They turned from waiters to just wild fire eating waitresses. That was kind of wacky.
It was. In fact, at that, you're watching the scene in that place was called Plaza Mariachi, and Max really wanted some salsa, merengue dancers to erupt out of the tables like you see there now. And but we're like, where do you find salsa dancers in Nashville? So Max and I and Phil and Phil's wife went to salsa night in that place 2 nights before that, and it was the dance floor was just full of all these professional salsa dancers. And then Max and I, the two most introverted people on earth, are how do we approach people and talk to them? It was like a Will Ferrell movie or something like that. And so Phil's wife actually talks to the DJ and makes an announcement over the whole dance floor that we're shooting this video. And I'm sure everyone was thinking, yeah, right, whatever. So there was the bald-headed salsa dancer guy that you see in the video. He was the boss of all the other salsa dancers at salsa night. And so Max actually chased him at 10 o'clock at night down in the parking lot at 20 degrees. He's like, hey, we're shooting this video, and we need salsa dancers. Would you be interested? And he's like, oh, what's it for? And we're thinking, oh boy. And so Max says, this is this band called Newsboys. And he's like, Newsboys? He's like, oh, I used to listen to you guys when I was a kid, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll hook you up. And he actually delivered 7 dancers 2 days later, and they were all really awesome, really nice people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and the fire dancers are a part of that little mall as well. They perform one night, a couple nights a week or something.
Yeah,
and they do a Cirque du
great
Soleil
fun.
thing.
It's incredible.
Yeah. The other amazing scene though was at Michael's house, the party scene. Everyone when it was kind of finally we could all kind of go a bit crazy and jump around and just go bananas. I think that was pretty cool, and lots of friends in there. Jack was in there on someone's shoulders, and that was pretty special. That was a special scene, a special moment. I thought that was good.
Well, it was really special, Phil, because all our kids are in it. You have older kids. I've got old kids. Jeff, of course, Jeff's kids, Jody's, all the kids, and not like we were mentioning earlier. We rarely, if ever, get to have all of us together in one place and all of our families all together in one place. And that night at Michael's, it was a special night because all of our kids, we were at Michael's house. All of our kids were, they were just jamming and having fun. I'm pretty sure pretty much all of our kids got on the video somewhere, if it wasn't for a split second. So, and of course, the little girl party scene where all the Jody's kids and Jeff's kids really get to highlight them too, which was that was super special too. So it was an intense 4 days of shooting, but I enjoyed every second of it. I don't know about you guys, but I sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, because every scene we went to, there'd be a whole bunch of new people who'd be like, yeah, that we knew, friends and family, would be like, yeah. And it would be, and then we go to the next scene, and it would be like, yeah, because
then there's the basketball scene where we had all those dancers that we knew, some of Mandeza's dancers and all this crew that we brought together that would, I mean, and some of that footage, Phil, like you were mentioning earlier, never saw the light
they
of
were
day,
doing,
but it was amazing.
And do you know why? The reason it didn't make it is because we were all standing there like morons going,
just watching
that guy just did it forward.
I know.
We weren't even performing. We were just watching in awe.
But you know what, guys? One of my favorite scenes is still the scene we're walking in at the beginning of the video into her house, all in a straight line. I laugh. I lose it every time because it's so quirky, corny. It's Newsboys.
Yeah. Well, it kind of, for me too, Michael, it kind of nods back to Newsboys of the past where we were so different back in the day. I remember when DC Talk was just getting started, Newsboys were just getting started. To me, this video was a real nod back to the cheekiness of, these bunch of teenagers that came across from the other side of the world. And you were there, Mike. You were there back in those days.
You were there, mate.
I mean, the whole video kind of has that, and I think that's what Max captures so beautifully, is the energy, that young youth energy of these cheeky guys that came from the other side of the world and thought for 1 minute, thought for one moment that they had a chance of making it. And here we are, with this incredible nod back to that. I think Max captured that beautifully. I think Max and Jeff came together and just, they got it. They got who we are.
That's
and
awesome.
Of course,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the industry gets so serious.
Yeah,
and it was really great to bring some fun back into it, and really that's the personality of the band. Not as much the seriousness as kind of the cheeky fun part, and that's always been who we are. But this has allowed us to actually express that in a full way, which is really great.
Yeah, I agree, Jody. I agree.
Yep. You're right.
Hey, Tater. I just got a text from your buddy Toby Mac, and he said
Never
he said he's sending his kids over to Professor Tate's house for homeschooling.
Oh boy!
Oh man! Ouch!
Ouch! Professor Tate, I like it.
I'll make little Martin Luther Kings.
There you go.
All right. Here we go. I love this. Do you guys have a favorite funny moment from the road?
Yes, man.
What happens on the road stays on the road. I don't know.
Where'd Tate go? He left for this one.
Yeah, I know.
So many things.
Turn the camera off.
Something funny happens all the time, right out there.
It does, man. It does.
Yeah. It usually involves us waiting on someone,
Yep.
waiting, and then someone turns up late with some sort of weird excuse.
When we're on the third song
No,
of the show.
Right?
Who would
You
do
need
that?
to tell that story.
Right, Michael?
Nope.
Jeff, I think the people need to know what's Phil talking about.
Well, yeah, it's funny that you bring that story up because it happened over Easter weekend. Like 2-3 years ago, we were in Austin, Texas, playing like this special gathering where all these churches from Texas came together, and massive arena, probably 20,000 people, something like that. We started the show and we played the entire intro and first song, and Michael was not there, nowhere to be found. So all the lights go down, they stop the whole thing, and I'm like, man, I hope everybody's okay. I don't know what's going on here. So everything goes black. There's like people in the crowd are like, the hush goes over the crowd. I go down to the side of the stage. I'm talking to some crew guys. Have you seen Michael? Have you seen Michael? And all of a sudden the stage door like opens and Michael comes walking in with a light behind him. And he doesn't know that he was late to the show. And I'm like, hey man, the show's about to start. Let's do it. So we start the show, play the whole show. Michael did not know that he missed the first 3 songs of the first show. We had to restart the whole thing until after the show was over. He was
That's
like,
true.
no
That's
way.
true.
Michael, you should have been
Imagine that.
You should be blonde, Michael. You
Oh, okay.
should be blonde,
okay.
mate.
Coming
It
from
wasn't
a
my
blonde
fault,
guy.
guys. Nature
All I,
called.
all I know is that
Oh,
crowd
okay. Too much information. Too much.
that crowd must have been so confused because they're
Oh,
like,
man.
why did they come out and play instrumentals?
Yeah,
What's,
we did.
what's happening right now? And then play them again.
Yeah, same song. That was great. All right, back to present day. What's your favorite thing to do while in quarantine? Or do you do anything?
Oh man,
I say swim in my pool.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah.
I've done a lot of cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm down to like the 3rd and 4th tier of like house projects. I have painted everything that can be painted.
Yep.
My landscaping is amazing.
Yeah.
My deck is stained. Like I was telling my family, I'm like, in 25 years or more, I've never been home in the month of April. As we're always on the road. I'm like, April is a really nice month in Tennessee. I'm get to enjoy it this year. Mm.
Yeah. I think for me, it's been able to spend a lot more time. Sorry, Jody. A lot more time with my family because, as Jeff was mentioning, April, March, April, May. I mean, these are prime touring moments. So to be able to every day spend time, especially with my son, he's 13 now, and of course my daughters, but being able to see them every day, know that they've got their daddy full time, 24 hours a day. It's just really, really, really cool. And I said to Brian, I think we're going to look back at this time in the future and say, man, that even though I know a lot of people are going through a lot of hard times, a lot of stress, and it is a stressful time in so many ways. I think we're going to look back on this time and just thank Jesus for having this opportunity to be able to spend
Duncan,
so much time. Michael, right? With their family. So I am every day I've got to remind myself, take this in, absorb it, enjoy it, because this probably will never happen again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope I never get to say this on my family again.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only problem that I'm having with quarantine is that I have this real issue with overcommitting myself to things that I've barely even scratched the surface of the list of things that I need to do. So we need to quarantine for like a year before I'll be caught up. So
yeah.
You guys holding up on toilet paper? Okay, everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, so good.
I'm good.
Okay, good. Question for Duncan. Back to the music video. Love One Another music video. Did you ever actually bust the pinata?
Yes.
I don't know, Jeff, did I?
I think you did.
I remember now.
I think you did. You had to spear it, like.
Yeah, there was no way that thing was going down.
Well,
every kid in the entourage hit it, and no one could get it to bust. So go for it.
I think you're meant to hit it with a bigger stick than what I had. I just don't think there was enough mass behind a drumstick to break that thing. But I do remember getting all the candy out, and all the kids, of course, that was their prize for shooting that scene.
That's all we could afford to pay them.
That's all we could afford to pay kids getting candy. So
because people need to know how that happened too, because all the kids had a shot at it and it wouldn't break.
Right.
And so it was decided, send the guy in who hits things for a living.
So I just got in there and just went ape on that thing, and it actually turned out to be a really cool. Max said, "That's it." Max was like, "Yeah, that's amazing." So I thought I didn't think it was so amazing, but when we saw back, it was just like you see this drummer just beating the snot out of this pinata. That was a nice little moment for sure.
Hey, Max, I got a question for you here. How long does it take to edit a music video like this?
Ooh, yeah.
It takes as long as they give me. So a couple weeks on this one, and
Yeah.
I think we spent about 3 weeks doing this one.
Yeah, I think Max is such a perfectionist that if we would have given him 3 years, he'd still be working on it.
It's true.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
But that was 4 days of footage to squeeze into 2 minutes and 45 seconds and tell a
Yeah.
story and make sure that everyone got it. And that was tough, Max. Nice job.
And I love the fact that Max goes home, does his homework. Like he had me come over, him and Jeff had me come over just to shoot me on film to get the right skin shades and stuff right before the video even happened, which got me in the mood for it already. So the guy is like, he's a pro, man. Freaking pro.
Mm-hmm. Totally. All right, here we go. This is a question again for the video. This one's for Jeff. You play a guitar in the video. Was that just laying around the house?
Well, that guitar actually was Max's guitar. Max is a keyboard player as well, and we couldn't actually fit a keyboard anywhere in that office, and I needed to be mobile. So he's like, he ran to his house and gave it to me, and I actually really enjoyed it. I might have to make that. I might have to make that a full-time gig going forward.
Yeah.
I've never
Back to the
experienced
80s,
the rock power of the guitar before. No.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to
I
get
think
out there on
that'll
that
happen.
catwalk.
That'll
Come
happen
on
the day I
down.
wear a headset mic.
Have you ever worn a headset mic, Jody? Have you ever done that?
No, that it's a little bit of an inside joke there. There's been times when management has tried to pressure me into wearing a headset mic, and that is one thing I absolutely refuse to do at any cost.
I've been a million years.
All right, this one's for Pete. How long does it take you to write a song?
Oh,
It's a good question. I mean, you know, some songs you write them, they come really quick, and other tunes they take years. You know, we're working on songs now that might not come out for 4 or 5 years. And I remember "He Reigns" was a song that I wrote, and when we it just didn't work on a few records, and so the song kind of got skipped by over 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then it just finally made it on one record. And so it's really, by the time you get to it, sometimes it can take years, 10, 15 years, and other times it can just take a few minutes.
Awesome. All right, guys, maybe a little more serious question here. This is from Janelle on Facebook. How do you stay strong in your faith and share with others when things like this virus or hardships happen?
I think
you
just
just
like
stay there for
anyone else.
people.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. You go ahead.
I think you just say that for people. I mean, they say love is a verb. It's true. And these times bring out the best in you. Of course, the worst can come out, but I choose to believe people bring out, you want to bring out the best in people, love them where they are. And nothing says I care more than attention and time. So there you have it.
That's good. All right, we got time for maybe a few more, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Thank you guys for all the questions. It's been awesome. I'm gonna try to get to maybe 1 or 2 more, and then we're gonna cut these guys loose to go back and finish the final hours of homeschool. They homeschool their kids until about 10 o'clock at night. There's another question that's a little bit different now versus on the road. How do you balance tour life with family life?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It's something that we've all been doing for a long time now. So I think every family works it out for themselves. I think personally we got the better deal. What I mean by that is I think that, yes, we're away kind of every kind of Wednesday night to, Monday morning, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are home. We don't have to do anything else typically other than the honey-do list, right? And then the summertime, we tend to do a lot. We're not touring in the summertime. So really that's when the kids are out of school. We actually get to spend so much more time with our kids than say a 9-to-5er is. So we get to spend most of our summers, we'll dart out and we'll do a festival here or there. Most of our summers are at home with our families. And that's when we get to go on vacations and do stuff like that. But that's when they're off. So that's when we're off. So I think, you know, we're out, but when we're home, we're home. And we've always done that. Newsboys has always tried to get, you know, we'll go out and do our thing and do what we do to our best, but then we'll always, every week, we'll get home and get that kind of first part of the week with our families. And I think that's part of the reason why we're still here, because we've always done that and realized that our families is as important or more important than what we do for a living in that sense. But
Well
then
said,
we're
my
all
friend.
called, Michael, we're all called to do this. It is a calling. It's something that is deep within our hearts and our souls to do. So we still get to do that, but we still get to have our families and spend time with them. So.
Awesome. All right. One final question before we say goodbye. Everybody is kind of in the same situation here with this whole lockdown thing, and we're all in our houses and wherever we live and staying with family. Do you have any TV shows you could recommend binge watching? What are you guys watching right now? What's going on? I know Jody doesn't have a TV, but like anybody else.
I say Family Feud.
He's got a coal burning.
Yeah,
TV
coal-fired TV. No,
Hey,
you know
hey.
what? You know what's funny? This quarantine has actually broken us down to where we have a show that we're watching with the kids.
Okay.
It's called The Masked Singer.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. We crack up. So every night we watch an episode of that. So
funny. Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Speaking of singers and whatnot, and there's somebody we haven't talked about in regard to this whole video situation is Galen Crew, the guy what is he called, Duncan? The surveyor, you know, the
market researcher.
Market
researcher.
The market researcher at the beginning of the video that asked the older couple if it's cool to come into that. Yeah.
So he got asked last minute to do that, and I've known him for a long time, and he's a solo artist, and he's a believer in everything, but he writes this amazing music. It's not necessarily going to be, you know, on K-Love anytime soon, but he writes this amazing stuff. And he had, I think this is interesting, he had he didn't even know it, but all of a sudden one of his songs blew up in China. The guy's a pop star. He's a major pop star in China. He's toured there like
that's so
3
random
times
in
China. So Galen Crew, I mean, you know, the viewers will hear it. You should go and check out his music. He's an amazing guy, and he did an amazing job in the video. But he's
nice plug there. Nice plug there, buddy.
Yeah, that's
he did a good job for us. So
well said.
He did. He did.
He was great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah, great.
All right.
guy.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks for your questions. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us from your homes and from out in the boonies. Jody, thanks for joining us. Setting up a cell tower out there today so that we could get you here.
Working on it all week.
Thank you, Adam, for hosting. You're awesome.
Yeah, man, no problem. It's fun to hang out with you guys. I miss you guys. I love you all. And everybody out there, stay safe. And we hope to see you on the road very soon. Love you. God bless you guys. See you.
Bye, everybody.
Love one another, sister and brother. Don't hurt each other.